PR Connections Radio presents. This podcast is brought to you by Envision U. Envision U has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With Envision U, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code envisinu.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're hearing this podcast from. Welcome to my podcast, Prospering in Health and Wealth. My name is Verner Dixon. I'm with VM Enterprise, and I am wanting to have a discussion with you about health, wealth, and wellness, and talk about how they actually interrelate with each other and can create a better environment for you, create a better work environment for you, a life situation for you, particularly if you have your health and you can focus on generating your wealth. And I think we'd have a lot to have conversations about. If you're interested, hang around and get your friends and relatives on board. And so let's get underway. Thank you. Let's go.
Hello, and welcome to my broadcast today. I hope everybody out there is having an awesome day, and you're continuing to be blessed and moving on with your life. And God, with the holidays coming up here, I know you have issues that you're running around and doing some things. And so with the holidays in general, people have different emotional responses to things during the holidays. And so with that in mind, I thought I would introduce or reintroduce a wonderful individual that we've had on before to talk about maybe some of the things that you need to focus on from the end of this year and work into next year. So with that in mind, I'd like you to see, as you see, who's also available here is Daphne Evens. And Daphne, hey, welcome to the team. Welcome back. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Vern. It is a pleasure to be back. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here. So thank you for the invitation.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I'm so happy to have you back. I wish I had you back a little bit sooner, but hey, you're here and we're ready to get started. And so we'll do some more later on, because I think the information that you bring to the table is extremely valuable to my patrons, the individuals that are out there who need this type of support. And with that in mind, let me read you her back. Let's give you a title, and let me give you some of the information that she's dealing with. Daphne Evens is the founder and CEO. They're dealing with creative, positive mindsets and making people smile. And that's why I wanted her back, because she makes me smile all the time. And so she's the CEO of the Happy Lady Speaks, LLC, THLS Wealth Strategies Agency, life insurance, annuities, and retirement strategies. Her issue is that she likes to help people everyday people to empower their financial future. And that's what I think about when I see and talk to Daphne. And that's what I want her to parlay that information on to you. And I'd like her to talk about some of the things that maybe we kind of dealt with moving into this environment. In particular, I want to give you a little bit more detail on that happy thing, because she's broken that down too. I think it's a very interesting way to do that. But let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we talked about getting here, and let's move on from there, Daphne.
Well, again, thank you so much for bringing me back, Vern. And yes, so here's the background. I've always dealt with people as it relates to transformational mindset. So I call myself a mindset architect, because I do help to move people from getting stuck from where they are into the lifestyle that they really want. I have a certification from UC Berkeley in the science of happiness. I'm also a graduate of John Carroll University back in Ohio in languages. And I've always dealt with people and been in tune with how people are. It's really a fascinating topic, right? And in looking at a lot of people, so many people get stuck. They don't know how to move. This isn't something that that they may know how to get out of. And in looking at that and being very interested, it became a passion to help people live a better lifestyle. I moved into the financial realm of it and started THLS Wealth Strategies because finances were, of course, something that helped people to stay stuck, but I wanted to move them out of that. So as we look at the Happy Lady Speaks and what I actually do in that realm, it is working with people in helping them get the best out of life that they possibly can. And what I actually did through that method is devised a methodology called the Happy Method. That is H.A.P.P.I.E. And the H.A.P.P.I.E. is a method that people can actually work with as it relates to moving from A to Z. So if you'd like, we can go through that. You tell me if you want me to go through the whole thing.
I do want you to go through that, and for some reason, your screen is stopped freezing occasionally. I guess a little bit. So hopefully we can get through the rest of this. But anyway, yeah, that HAPPIE method, and I notice as I'm getting to know Daphne and understand what she does, and that happy thing was broken down into denominations, I call them, into each letter. And so, yeah, I'd like her to go through that. So, yeah, tell the folks out there what that represents.
Especially at this time of year, the holidays generally bring about in so many people so many types of emotions. Normally we think about it as a happy time of year. Everybody is festive and, Santa's coming or whomever. You think that, it's just a great family time. But because of that, there are so many people who have lost loved ones during this time, or they've had some experiences that were not so positive. And so the holidays tend to bring about with so many people some issues and to preventing them from being at their best. So when I look at the happy method, I actually broke it down. If we look at the letter H, the letter H stands for habit. And so what that means is protecting your mindset, getting in the habit of putting you and your mindset in an arena that is going to be best for you. Now, this can apply to any facet of life. It doesn't have to just be with, your day-to-day living. It could be with health. It could be with your finances. But you want to develop good habits, habits that are going to allow you to get to your end result. If we look at the letter A, alignment, you have to understand where it is that you want to go, who it is that you want to be, and then align yourself with the examples of what that represents to you. So that means that if you are aligned in the mentality that you're looking for, if you are aligned with the people who you like to be around, then you are going to be able to more easily move from A to B. P, H-A-P, the first P is persistence. Persistence is so important because the persistence loops back to your why. And looping back to your why is important because when you look at persistence, every day is not going to be a cherry day, right? Every day you're not going to feel like getting up and maybe going to go work out. Every day you're not going to feel like getting up and go seeing those 5 clients who you need to see. Every day you're not going to feel like getting up and doing anything. But if you go back to your why of why these things were important to you in the first place, then that's going to loop into the persistency and why you're actually doing it. So you have to understand that persistency is actually what's going to get you from A to B to C to Z. The fourth item is positivity. And what that really loops into is practicing gratitude. And, gratitude is something that people say they have, but actually trying to practice it sometimes is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
And why it is so important. And one of the things that I personally do and I counsel a lot of my clients to do is when you wake up, find three things that you're grateful for. 3 things. And if you're doing that in the morning and you're doing that in the evening, then you're going to have a basis as to where your mindset can take you. Because if we're grateful for whatever, because you don't even have to be living today, right? You just don't, it's funny. When I wake up, the first thing I do is thank God that I opened my eyes. At the second I opened my eyes. And you might say, well, why the second? Because I realized that at that very second I opened my eyes, someone somewhere closed theirs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I am grateful for being able to see the sunshine, walk on pavement, breathe, touch, then that gives me the basis for opening up a great day. If you really want to take it a step further, I have some clients actually do a gratitude journal for 30 days. And here's the challenge. You might want to do this, Vern. Here's the challenge. You find 3 things that you're grateful for every day, and
Okay.
you can't repeat. You can't repeat.
The individual things each day for 30 days.
Yes, and don't
Okay.
repeat.
No repeat. Okay.
No repeating. So positivity, that's your second P, is giving into your gratitude. Intentionality. Oh my gosh, intentionality. So you have to choose your inputs. You have to choose your inputs. You have to be intentional about where it is that you want to go. And why is that important? Because so many times people are taking in anything and everything. They're talking to anybody, they're reading anything, they're opening up social media, and they're taking in whatever they see. I tell people, stop scrolling. Just stop scrolling and be intentional about the conversations you have, the food that you eat, the people with whom you interact, because anything outside of that energy which you want, you're going to be taking that in. So be intentional about your surroundings and the energy that you have around you. Therefore, that same energy is going to come out of you. And
Okay.
the last thing is E for empowerment. Be at peace with who you are. Because once people are at peace with who they are, then they will understand the power that they have inside of them. And that empowerment will then come through, because that's what this is all about. So many people are comparing themselves to this person, to that family. Oh, they went on that vacation, they did this, that. Just know who you are. Be content with who you are. Work on who you are, because the bottom line is the only person you're in competition with is the person who you were yesterday. So empowerment and being at peace coming from within is the last item that I have in the acronym that helps people understand that they can move into a better lifestyle.
Awesome. Awesome. And I'm loving every step that you went through on that. And I was jotting down a couple of notes, other than me taking notes to get my 30-day challenge started. I'll get that done as well. So I'll get that done. But one of the things, protect your mindset. I mean, to end this year, if you haven't been focusing on something, I guess that makes your year kind of haphazard. Is
Mhm.
is that a term you can use in terms of that? And so if you've got a goal that you're reaching to, or something that you want to attain at a
Mhm.
certain period of time, that's a habit, that's a positive habit that you
Mhm.
should be maintaining or moving towards. And I love the one on alignment, because I think of, if I got people in my different organizations, and my partners in the businesses that I deal with. And so, I mean, and some people you get along well with, and some people you have some issues with.
Right.
But you try to, at least I do, and I've over many years of doing this, try to bring in people or contact or have relationships with folks that you can get along with, that you at one point you can say, I know, love, and trust. You
Right.
know, that's a
Right.
little bit more difficult, but that's kind of what I'd like to have in a group that I'm working with on a consistent basis, because not only that, we're trying to reach a goal together. We're trying to earn some income together. And so there's back and forth in terms of the conversations that we're having to make that happen. So
Right.
that makes perfect sense as well. And persistence, when you say persistence, and I think of, like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and why keeps coming up in every situation. When you got a goal to meet, your underlying reason for doing that particular goal in most cases is your why.
Right.
Why are you doing this? Or are you doing this to earn income to go to school? Or are you doing this to take care of your parents? Or are you doing this to take care of your kids, your grandkids, or whatever? My why right now, and I'll just, I keep saying this every time, almost every time I get a chance, is to do something for my grandkids, because I got 7 grandkids and I want those little guys to not have to worry about anything. So my why is those babies. And so being persistent and moving in that direction is what I have. Life gets in the way, and you have the ups and downs in terms
Yes.
of reaching your goals and doing some of those things.
Yes.
And so that was one of the reasons that I wanted to have this conversation with you, because there has been a lot of stress. I know for myself, and based on the news and based on talking to people and having those conversations, there's a lot of stress out there. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stress about where their next paycheck is coming from.
Yep.
There's a lot of stress out about their health, and there's a lot of stress out about what is this day going to bring, based on the people who are making decisions out there for me, from a financial or health or an environment or business or political perspective.
Right.
I'm
Right.
trying to stay away from politics, but
Yeah.
there's some very trying, detrimental things that are going on right now. And so
Yes.
that's why I thought about having you here too, to have people to kind of refocus and think about what their why is, and what could they be consistent in or persistent in, and what could they do in terms of moving in the direction that they kind of started, but they need to move in that direction and figure out, with everything that's going on, what do I need to change,
Exactly.
if anything, to reach my goal? And so I think you and what you bring to the table is a piece of that, because
Yes. Thank
this
you.
yeah, and that's why I wanted to have you back. And I think we talked about having you back again, and I'll do that. We'll do that too. But I want folks to understand what you bring to the table in terms of here, and I'll do.
Can I say
Yeah,
something outside of
sure, absolutely, absolutely.
so here's the thing again, at this time of year, you mentioned so many aspects of exactly what's going on with so many people right now. But this time of year, you mentioned in terms of people meeting goals, and maybe they haven't met all of their goals yet. And so again, when we get to the last portion of any year, people start thinking about, oh, I didn't do this, and I said I was going to do that, and oh, I meant to do this, and I didn't accomplish. People, this is one of the biggest times of year when people beat themselves up about what didn't happen.
Yeah.
But what I always try to calm people with is understand this. It doesn't matter what happened from January 1st to whatever date it is. You have the ability to do something today. So when you look at how people set goals, normally people have a succession of goals that they set at the beginning of the year, objectives, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
You know, choose one thing that you can do from today to the end of the year. Just one thing. Just one thing. You don't have to bombard yourself with, oh, I meant to make six figures this year and I'm not, I'm nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Just choose one thing. I choose to be grateful. Let's go back to the gratitude for having life. If you can do that and write down your three things that you're happy for, that is something that you've accomplished. That's one thing.
Yeah.
In terms of the bigger picture with everything that's going on in the world, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Time. Yep.
And I normally always carry two imaginary knapsacks over my shoulder, one over my right shoulder, one over my left shoulder. And one bag has a U on it, and the other bag has a C. The U are the uncontrollables. I can't control what people are doing necessarily as it relates to politics.
Right.
I can't control that. I can't control those types of decisions, even though they may very easily affect me. But I look at what I can control. Do I still have a job? Let me continue to go to work to support my family. Maybe I can save a little more money out of my check, even if it's $5, so that I can feel more empowered.
Yeah.
If I don't, if you're not one of those individuals who is currently unemployed or who is currently employed, over 1.1 million people lost their jobs this year.
Yeah.
1.1 million. That's a lot of folks. If you are in that group, what is it you can do today to help your mindset? Because that's a big mindset shift.
Yeah.
What can you do to help your mindset to stay positive in the midst of the chaos? So I help people with that. But there is always something we can do, Fern. It may be minute, but even the most minute step is still a step.
And that you're absolutely correct on. I'm here approving of what you're saying, obviously, because I mean, some of those things that they affect me as well, particularly
Mhm.
the millions of folks who have been laid off from jobs,
Yeah.
whether they left the job themselves or whether they were told to leave the job. It's stressful because I got to buy groceries, I got to pay my rent,
Yep.
I got to pay my bills, I got to do this, I got to do
Yep.
that, and so that is definitely a stressful thing. And
Mhm.
then you put the holidays on top of that
Mhm.
and the other expectations that other people bring to the table of you. In the case of gift giving, your kids, your relatives, and people that you want to deal with, and so you feel
Pressure.
pressure, and you feel like less of an individual because now you're not able to accomplish those goals. But like you say, if you pick one thing, maybe it's not the biggest thing, maybe, seven figures by the end of the year, maybe that's one thing, but
Right.
do something else. The other one, be grateful every day. Make sure you say, be grateful. Like when you say,
Yep.
you get up in the morning, you say, thank God for letting me open my eyes.
Yep.
That's important, because that's one of the things that I'm beginning to do as well, and have that thing to look forward to. Be
Right.
grateful for something. And so it I don't know. It's just been, based on the folks that again, I've been talking to and listening to, and some of the things that they're going through. And I thought that this would be a way to say they're not alone. There's a lot of people out there
Yeah.
in this type of situation as well. So, I mean, in terms of the things that they do on a daily basis, those little things to get them moving forward, in terms
Right.
of if they don't have an opportunity in front of them now,
Mhm.
what do you what would you offer in terms of what you provide for a service? Let me add
Yeah.
that to the.
So what I provide is a blueprint for people in order to get to where they want to be.
Mhm.
So I am a guide. I'm a coach. I'm a life coach, if that's what you want to call it. But I provide a service that allows people to understand where they are And then we put things in place to get them to where they want to be. Now, that again can be in lifestyle, or it could be on the financial side of things, or it could be a combination of both. But I work with people in terms of workshops, individual or group settings. And I also do presentations so that people can be opened to the idea of I can do. Because I just don't believe in the word can't.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that.
That's
And
awesome.
if more people understood that they don't have to believe in can't either, then you would see more propensity of people understanding that they're not limited, or they're
Mhm.
not limited to the point where they think they are because somebody else told them that they couldn't, because they really can. But it's reshifting that mindset so that they understand, oh, this is possible. I never knew that this is possible. Okay, well, okay, I'm not looking to be a millionaire, but I can certainly do better and I can set my family up. I never thought I could do that because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't know that I didn't know that life could present happiness to me like this, joy, because I was looking at all the wrong things.
Yeah. It,
Mindset shifts.
yeah. It's that reimagining life or reimagining your situation
Yes.
and say, out of all of these bad things, what is the least of those that I can focus on to
Yes.
help improve myself to move
Exactly.
forward on some level?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know if I had explained to you in any of our conversations, but one, I was years and years ago, I volunteered at a health center in Los Angeles, and the people, the clients who were there, were all basically, for the most part, terminal. They're probably not even with us today.
Yeah.
And in working with these people, I worked in the food bank. So on Tuesdays, people could drop off canned goods for the people because medication and medical care was so expensive. Prescriptions were so expensive. On Thursdays, the clients would come and they would shop. And in talking to each and every single one of these people who knew that they were terminally ill,
Yeah.
all they talked about was the beautiful parks, or the water glistening when they went to the beach, or the birds chirping that morning when they woke up.
Yeah.
And they showed me how positive people could be in the midst of tragedy, in
Yeah.
the midst of something really bad, in the midst of the storm, which actually started me on this journey. And I'm really so glad that I was exposed to that, because it's a wonderful journey that I'm able to help people with.
And that's awesome. I mean, and you got an awesome personality. I see you smiling all the time, and then I catch some of your walking conversations, your live sometime when you're in the park and doing things. And
Yeah.
I say, and I say that that's awesome that you're focused on doing that because it's something that's consistent for you, and
Mhm.
it seems to light up your personality anyway
Oh,
because you're outside. So
I'm
that
outside.
that that's awesome. I
Thank you.
mean, and looking for those little things, like you say, those terminally ill individuals
Mhm.
can look at a specific thing in life, even
Mhm.
though they know that they're going to pass, and
Yes.
find joy
Yes.
and happiness in
Yes.
that particular item, that
Yes.
particular issue. I mean,
Yes.
and that's awesome. That is
Mhm.
absolutely awesome. I
Yes.
I wish I could be consistent in that environment all the time. But I know I guess I'm like everybody else. You put your goals and things in place and you try to get there, and life gets in the way and messes all those up
Life is
because
always going to be life and burn.
it's
Life
always going to be
is
something
life.
out there, right?
Yeah, always, always. Do your journal. Do your 30-day journal.
Yeah, I made a note here. I even got a star next to it, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
see?
Yeah, and oh my goodness, I wish we had more time, and we will. I'll get you back on here, but we
Awesome.
seem to be out of time right now, and so Thank you so much, Daphne, for showing up on my show today. I really
Thank you,
appreciate you
Vern.
being here. And you're
It was my
awesome,
pleasure.
awesome, awesome.
Thank you for the invitation. I'll come back anytime.
You got it. Thank you so much. And so for the rest of you folks out there, I hope you at least maybe pick that 30 day, that one thing a day for 30 days that you can do and be grateful for and look forward to. And that would be awesome. But in the meantime, as I always say, I want you to continue to be blessed, and the best is yet to come. Be blessed. Take care. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right.
This podcast is brought to you by Envision You. Envision You has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With Envision You, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code envisionu.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.